What's something you worry about?
A lot of things.
Don't even get me started.
Schooling, grades,
fitting in, being able to actually go out, whether or not I have good grades.
politics, and like the future.
I would definitely say I worry about my future. Just the idea of the unknown terrifies me.
I'm 17 years old, and yet I have no idea what the hell I'm going to be doing with my life.
And it stressed me out a little bit, right? I mean, it stresses me out to think that, what you're doing right now affects, like, your life ahead of you, what your job will be.
I have no idea what the future holds. I have no idea what my job or jobs will be, and that kind of scares me. The future scares me.
Just being set up for failure in this society, in this state, in this environment.
Losing friends.
If people are talking about me behind my back.
Other people's expectations, how other people perceive me.
Dying alone. The idea of being alone, the thought that at some point I could have no one there for me really scares me.
Being kidnapped.
I am very afraid to walk alone places, especially at night or in like a big city. Because you could get attacked, you could get raped, you could get murdered.
There are a lot of bad people, and I watch too many documentaries.
Especially downtown, like at night, or anywhere at night, because you never know who's gonna be there.
If I ever have to walk alone in a place, I'm always on my phone, keeping my head down, trying to avoid looking or talking to anyone else.
When I see someone and I'm walking on the street, then I purposefully go to the other side of the street just to avoid them if they look like they could somehow take advantage of me. Pedophiles scare me a lot because a lot of the time I'll get weird, random old men come up to me and be like, oh, are you 18? And I'm like, I'm 12. Yeah, I don't walk alone, I run.
The environment of growing up in Utah.
Pollution and water and climate and everything.
The state of the world in general makes me pretty sad.
Everything I worry about is based around school.
I've had friends that have brought, opioids, and they've brought hard drugs to school before, and they haven't been caught, and they've just done them during lunch, or they've done them, they've just done them during class, and the teachers don't notice.
Safety in general, I've been verbally harassed on multiple occasions at school to the point where it's just a normal everyday occurrence.
You start self-deprecating, and it's a joke at first, but then, after a while it doesn't feel like a joke anymore. It's not a joke anymore.
I was afraid to walk in the hallways by myself, and that changed a lot for me.
School shootings.
School shootings, as that has been brought up in the past few years.
School shootings, which happen at a really higher average than most countries. I think last year we had 142. It was a lot. Because it's not just people in your school. People can come into your school, and a lot of times it's people you wouldn't expect, especially since people usually, when they're targeting someone, look for racial minorities, even though almost all school shootings have been by white people.
Women's rights.
Pretty scared about the state of women's rights right now in the country.
Even having gone through public school my entire life, LDS culture is very relevant and very, very up forward. And there's a lot of hate towards people like me and my friends and my family who are LGBT youth. It makes me angry that there is no separation of church and state in this state, and there needs to be.
My family and I stopped attending the Mormon church regularly. I worry that if my grandma were to find out that I'm gay, that she might kind of disown my immediate family. It probably wouldn't go that far. She's nice, I think.
There's a lot of suicide and a lot of overdoses and other really horrible things that aren't being talked about.
One day I'm just gonna say screw it, and I'm just gonna end up going down the wrong path, or that someone else is gonna go down the wrong path and end up ruining their lives.
What scares me is statistics of how many teens have taken their own life this year.
I don't usually feel judged so much as pressured.
There's a lot of pressure on teenagers most of the time, because you're learning everything. It's hard when your parents put pressure on you, and when your friends put pressure on you, they're everything's gonna be fine. It's hard for teenagers. There's a lot of things.
I feel like we receive a lot of advice from older generations that would have been very, very much relevant while they were growing up. They're doing everything they can to be helpful to us, but they have to realize that times change, and so the advice that you're giving might not be as relevant in this day and age.
Idea that teens are lazy just because it's a different dynamic than it was 50 years ago. Because, you know, like older people think that they're lazy, but that's just the way things are. I also think that mental illness is a really big deal and people just sort of don't talk about it enough because it's really affecting people, especially now. People aren't really caring.
It makes me happy when people actually care.